Well, looks like we're back again with another no fluff analysis, but this time around I'm not going to be covering a summoning showcase. This time I'll be covering the contents of the What's Ahead for Dragalia Lost Part 4 news post. Some of you may have already seen this on the Dragalia Lost news website or on the in-game notices, but if you haven't and you want to know more about it, then this is the video for you. I'm going to be going from the top down. So that brings us to our first piece of information, a new-ish adventurer, Beautician Zardin, a 5-star Light Blade. He'll be added to the summoning pool on the 14th of May, but currently we're unsure as to whether or not he'll be limited. Our current incarnation of Zardin is actually a 3-star water sword, so this indicates to us that current 3-star characters are also eligible to get 5-star alternate costumes. Currently the only Light Blade unit we have is Halloween Edward, who is a limited 3-star unit. From the news post, Cygames has said that the supporting cast of summonable characters have a lot of hidden facets, and they want a wide variety of the supporting characters to appear anew in the future. So if your favourite character happens to be a 3-star unit, you might have some hope that they'll see a new 5-star alternate costume in the future. Or maybe 4 stars, but either way they've stated that they want to expand more upon the existing cast. On the same day, also on May 14th, the Resplendent Refrain raid event will be returning. Resplendent Refrain was an event that ran at the end of November last year. The raid boss is a shadow enemy that inflicts curse, which makes sense for new players to sort of revisit, since Alphonse, the latest new free unit that was added, is a light sword unit that resists curse. If you are like me and not playing too seriously the last time the event ran, then maybe you didn't maximum unbind Maritimus, now there's a chance for you to do so. If you already did it, maybe there's a chance you can get a second free Shadow Dragon if you wanted to. If you only recently started playing Dragalia Lost, then I would recommend that you focus on getting Alphonse and his light sword, Fogfanger? I'm not entirely sure how you pronounce that, in order to get a curse resist unit that will probably do very well in the event. Veteran players will probably absolutely wreck the event unless there are new difficulties introduced, so if you're new, you might be able to get carried by some veterans if you get matched up with them. Another addition on May the 14th is Hybrid Hilda Prelude. This will enable players to get a feel for the attack patterns of Hybrid Hilda, while not quite offering the same sorts of rewards. If the reward structure is similar to High Midgard Zorma Prelude, then this will be a decent source of dragon fruit for you players that don't really want to tackle high dragon trials. Next on the list we have a set of new void battles due to be added on the 20th of May. The first of the enemies listed is the Amber Golem. The Amber Golem is a light enemy, and if we assume that it follows the same sort of patterns as the other Golem battles, then it'll probably inflict dull. We currently have blade, spear, bow and wands that are shadow dull resist weapons. I'd also recommend adventurers that inflict blind, since the weapons have blinded Punisher. Shadow adventurers that inflict blind are Nefaria, Orion, Vida and Zace. 2 dragons, Phantom and Nidhogg, also inflict blind with their skills. Of the listed adventurers, only Nefaria and Zace have the appropriate dull resist weapons, so maybe we can see some more weapons added with the update. The next void battle enemy is the Gust Shroom. We have Physian's Bane weapons from the Golem, which are currently the sword, blade and dagger, and another adventurer, Melsa, also has Physian's Bane. And for the third and final void battle we'll be seeing added on the 20th of May, we have the Violet Ghost, a shadow enemy. I'm assuming it's going to have ranged resist, like our current Blazing Ghost enemy, and you'll notice that we already have light swords, axes, lances and bows with Undead's Bane. However, if the ghost has ranged resist, I can't really recommend using the bow. Felicia, a 4-star light healer that was given out for free from a previous event, also has Undead resist. Although being one of the probably easier void battles, we'll probably see 4 attack units being used. Moving on to the end of May, we have Echoes of Antiquity, an upcoming raid event that will feature a wind boss, Qitian Dasheng, or a bit easier, the Monkey King. This is the first time we've had a raid event with a wind enemy, so I'm relatively excited. Along with the event, we'll have the chance to earn a new 4-star Fire Lance unit, Trenzang. With Trenzang and the Monkey King being added to Dragalia Lost, we might also see additional characters from the Journey to the West. I'll cover the content more when we get to it. Following the raid event, we'll see Void Poseidon added to the game in mid-June. Void Poseidon will inflict freeze and have a new ability. Poseidon will also drop materials and weapons that help you deal with high mercury. At the same time in mid-June, we'll also see the Mercurial Gauntlet, a recurring event, featuring Fafnir Roy III. Some of you might recognise the art as having been leaked near the end of last year, and will probably see this as a form of longer content. The Mercurial Gauntlet is said to have monthly rewards. I'm curious as to whether this is going to be like the Void Battle treasure trade, or perhaps just rewards given to you per level cleared each month. The news post also states that you should try to prepare a team of each element. However, current information regarding this event is rather limited, so I'd avoid dumping your resources into adventurers until you need to. That's it for the long-term content plans, but in the next update, so they've said, I'm not sure when it will be, maybe in a week, maybe 2 weeks, but there will be a few new quality of life additions. A clear time display. It's not huge, but it's a minor quality of life update. People will now be able to say that they cleared in X, Y or Z time without having to do maths and subtract however much time they've got left from how much they started with. It's not huge, but hey. Next up we have GPS based matching. So this means you'll be able to match up with people that are hosting rooms that are near you geographically. It's not huge for me, since I don't actually play with anyone I know, but hey, if you play with friends and you guys sit next to each other, then sure, you can just match up without having to share the 7-digit code that is normally required. Third in the list, and probably the most major one to me, is a crafting feature improvement. You'll be able to craft higher tier weapons straight from the menus. An often requested feature that I've seen on the subreddit, this means you'll be able to construct higher tier weapons straight from the menu without having to navigate through, constructing 25 with a tier 1 weapon, upgrading and enhancing. No. Now you'll be able to construct straight from the menu, consuming the whetstones and other materials required in the process. Fourth in the list, and a feature I've been seeing not quite as often as the last one, Dragon's Roost. You'll be able to select multiple gifts to give at once. This doesn't include 4-leaf clovers, but hey, this means I'll save a minute every day giving little gifts to everyone. I'm not going to complain about that, it's just a quality of life feature. And last up, Adventurer AI adjustments. Most recently we've had AI start to use force strikes, but following the next update, AI will also respond to enemy attack markers. This is quite nice, maybe it'll make autoing Imperial Onslaught battles slightly easier, or maybe it'll let me auto High Midgard's armor with the stack and split marker requirements. Who knows? Personally, I'm pretty excited about the most recent news post because it's all good stuff. And this update shows that Cygames actually cares about making their game feel fun to play, rather than just trying to milk as much money out of us as possible. Okay, granted, they're a company, they're probably trying to do that anyway, but at least it feels good. What about you? Let me know what you think in the comments below. And as always, thank you very much for watching, and I wish you luck in your upcoming polls.